All right, so my Daytona Hellcat that came out back in 2020 was a limited edition, and still is, of course, a limited edition Daytona Hellcat. It was marking the 50th anniversary of the Daytona when it was first created back in 1969. So this car was limited edition, all right? It's a numbered car. That year was the first year that this Charger got a wide body, all right? The Challenger had already had a wide body back in 2018. So when this car came out, it was the first Charger to have a wide body, and it was the first Charger to have 717 up from the 707 that was normally on Hellcats prior to that. This same year, all standard Hellcats of 2020 still got the 707, all right? They still got 707 horsepower, and my Daytona Hellcat was the only one that got the 10 extra horsepowers for that year. All right, so in that same year of 2020, Dodge then announced that for the next year of 2021, they would be making all standard Hellcats have 717 to the crank, all right? So from that point going forward, that would be the norm. So what they were doing was already marking this car up, all right? This was a limited edition car. It was a number car. I have number 367 out of 501, so this is 1 out of 501, and they were marking this car up, and I'll pull up an article and I'll put it up on the screen. All right, so there was a dealership that was marking this car up to 114,000 back in 2020, so 3 years ago. And people, of course, complained about it, so what they did was they dropped it down to 107, so 107,145. All right, I'll put that article up on the screen. So these markups were already happening back in 2020. So what do you think they're gonna do right now in 2023 when it's the last call, all right? When this is the last year you can get this car, they're really gonna mark up. So this didn't just start this year in 2023 or maybe last year with these jailbreaks, all right? This was back in 2020 when they were doing this, all right? And a Demon came out in 2018. I'm sure back then they were marking up Demons, all right? And Demons have, of course, appreciated over the years. They're selling Demons right now. I see them going for over 200,000, all right? I can see that happening for this car right here also. Just because it's not a Demon, it is a limited edition car, all right? They made 3,000 Demons and they made 501 of my actual Daytona Hellcat. So I have something very special, and I know that. I've known that from day one, no matter what anybody said. I already knew I had something special, all right? I was blessed enough to be to get this car at an invoice price from my dealership. I had already bought a Daytona 392 from them, and this is my second car, and I had did numerous car reviews for them for their dealership, so they were not going to hit me over the head and mark up on me, all right? So I got a real damn good deal on this car, all right? I got the invoice price, which is also lower than MSRP. So like I said, not something new, all right, with these markups. It is what it is. You're gonna have to figure out, you know, how you can get one if you really want one. You know, they're not, you know, you may be able to get lucky and get a car for MSRP, or you may be able to get invoice if you know somebody, but for the most part, you will be paying well over 100 grand for just a standard Hellcat, all right? Let alone one of these jailbreaks. So one of these last calls. So in 2023, the standard Hellcat is basically, you know, just gonna be marked up, period. If you want one of these last calls, I think the 8 last calls or whatever it is with these graphic packages, you're definitely gonna be paying upwards of 100 grand for a Hellcat. All right, for a Scat Pack, you may be paying what you used to pay for this, 70 and 80. As for me, as I've said, I will not be selling this car, all right? I bought this car brand new. I put 13,000 miles on it right now, as of now, and it's still brand new. I'm still opening it up, and I will not be getting rid of this car. I'll be paying this car off pretty soon. I only have technically like 2 years left to pay it off, but I'll probably pay it off in about a year, to be honest with you, and then I will own this car. I would have already paid the car off basically a year faster than what the banks think I'm gonna pay it off at. So like I said, I'm not getting rid of my car. I have a piece of history, and I have a limited edition Daytona. The car still has a lot more miles before I can really start to get it up there to open it up even more than what it is. Or these cars start to open up when you get up into the, like I said, 30, 40,000 miles, 50,000 miles, they really start to open up. So right now, like I said, I'm just at 13K. What I'm thinking about doing, I don't know for a fact right now, but I'm looking at this EV, and I said it back in the video that I made back in August of 2022. If they make a 4-door with that car, I may be interested in bringing that to the channel along with this, but I will not be getting rid of my ICE engine. I'm not getting rid of it for one of these EVs. I'll just get an EV, and what I'll do is this guy clearly saw me over here. Some Hellcat. It looks like, I don't know if it was a Hellcat or a 392. What I will be doing is I will be jumping on that EV if it's 4 doors, and I'll bring that to the channel, and I have 2, you know, sedans, you know, that EV, and I'll have this. But as of now, I don't know. They've just shown it to be in 2 doors. And of course, people that know me know that I'm the Daytona guy. I had a Daytona 392. I fought to get this car. I made it happen back in 2019 to start 2020. And since they want to call this new EV a Charger Daytona, what are they doing? They're putting me in a position to want to have to get that car also, just to say I can get it, all right? Plus, I would just use it for content to see how the car handles, how it really drives, how great these EVs are, all right? I don't know if I would lease that car, because this car I finance and I will be paying it off soon and I'll own it. So what I'm thinking about doing is the next car that I bring to the channel, if I do end up going EV, that will be probably a lease, unless, you know, I may lease to buy, unless for some strange reason I start liking that car, and then of course I would step it up and then I would just buy that car. But I'm not getting rid of my internal combustion engine. I'm not doing it, all right? With this supercharger, this engine, this car is off the charts, all right? It's something special. It will always be something special. Just looking at it right now, 3 years later, what did I do? Future-proof myself. I got this car back in 2020, and every single car up until 2023 still looks just like this. So basically, you would have no clue what year this car is, unless you really knew that this was a Daytona Hellcat, and it was a limited edition car that came out back in 2020. So, like I said, not getting rid of my Hellcat. I'll see what happens if they, you know, happen to make a 4-door on this EV, but I'm not feeling 2-door cars. Everybody that watches me for years knows I'm not really a 2-door car person, and I do not like that hatchback type thing. I like a trunk. So that new EV is 2 doors and it has a hatchback. So those are the things that's hurting it. I saw it at SEMA. It looked a lot better with those drag radials. I did a poll on my Instagram and asked people, do they think it looks better? And it seems like people think it looks better. It looks a lot better than those BSS EV looking wheels that they had on back in August of 22. That futuristic look, I can't stand how that shit looks. So but with the drag radials, it looked way better, like I said, even though it was just 2 doors. So I can imagine what that would look like in a 4-door with drag radials, or, you know, a better rim. Or actually, it wasn't just the drag radials that made it look better. It was the actual rim. The rim, it was an 18-inch rim, like a star-looking rim. I'm sorry, these devil advocate rims, whatever they're called, that they call them. It looked like it was that rim with drag radials. So it looked way better, all right? And like I said, this car right here, just looking at it right now on camera, I keep looking at my camera and I look at it in person, it's just off the charts how it looks in person. The camera does not do it justice. This car looks next level menacing, all right? That's what these cars are. They are literally menacing. They're a threat, all right? When you see a car like this on the road, you know it's something special, all right? When you see it, people, I'm looking at people all day. I'm behind my tent, they can't see me, but I'm watching them. You know, they're looking at me. People are watching to see what I'm gonna do. They wanna see if, you know, I'm gonna, you know, fly up on them or speed up on them or whatever, you know, when they pass me, they wanna see, you know, what the car looks like. I can just see people, but, you know, it's a blessing to have a Hellcat. A lot of people have been dying to get them, you know, and they can't get one for whatever reason, so it's a blessing to have one, and especially to have one of 501. That's real special to have one of 501, which is a limited edition car, and you know, I can't be more blessed. All right, so if you made this far in the video, let me know if you want to see me bring that new EV to the channel when it comes out. It's still early right now. It is June of 2023, maybe in August of 2023, in 2 months. They'll let us know exactly what's going to be the release date in 2024. I don't know if it's smart to, you know, to get the first one. You know, it could have problems, or just wait for the second year, maybe in 2025. I don't know, but you know, if they come out with a 4-door, I will be interested in bringing that car to the channel along with this car. But let me know in the comment section if you want to see that. If you want to see this Daytona with the new Charger Daytona Banshee EV, and I'll get that done. So let me know in the comment section if you want to see that. So make sure you are subscribed, make sure you have that bell turned on so you can get all post notifications, and I appreciate you guys.